This character's helmet and overall demeanor reminds me a lot of Veilhelm from Dark Souls 3 DLC. Ashes of Arindel. At least I'm assuming it is a character, but if it is and he has a deep voice, that'll just deal the seal for me.
In that forsaken place.
This lava area is very reminiscent of Iron Keep in Dark Souls 2, or perhaps even the Broom Tower in some situations.
The Erdtree faithful.
The shot of this castle reminds me a lot of the Rain City DLC, both in the lighting and the architecture. This big Wicker Man looking ass reminds me of how Yorm was introduced in the Dark Souls 3 intro cutscene. It's just a good shot to show a giant character. Also, the design looks a lot like the Dirty Colossus from Demon Souls, except, with more fire. This leech enemy is reminiscent of the Darksuckers, apparently they're called, in Dark Souls 2. Or maybe the Pisakas in Dark Souls 1. There's certainly no shortage of gross leech enemies that try to eat you, or at the very least have a grab attack. The initial swings of this dual sword combo feel similar to the Dancer's swords in Dark Souls 3. This little kick moveset that you have certainly reminds me a lot of the Senpo leaping kicks in Sekiro. Certainly feels like they took inspiration from that, since there's not a lot of hand-to-hand combat, or leg-to-leg combat in the Soulsborne series. There's been many incarnations of a crossbow like this over the Soulsborne series. The repeating crossbow is the most obvious example, but it's clearly a Berserk reference to Guts as well. The way this dancer enemy moves is almost identical to how the Warden enemies will attack you in Dark Souls 3. This plated boar enemy is very reminiscent of the Fanged boar in Dark Souls 1, and while you can't ride that one, you can plunge attack it. And lastly, this old man covered in yellow seems pretty close to the old monk in Demon Souls as well. Shout out to my friend Baxi for this one and the Dirty Colossus tip. Let me know respectfully if you disagree with any of these, or if there's any callbacks you think I missed. Leave them in the comments.